Okay, here we go. We're gonna do a second take on this audio. Hello, everyone. So, this is an audio that I kind of wasn't expecting to do anytime soon. But it happened. So, hi. Thank you for 2,000 subscribers. I really don't know what to say. Thank you, obviously. I'm really flattered. I feel like I say this a lot, and I feel like it feels less sincere every time I say it, but I really, when I started this channel, was not expecting this. You know, I made these audios for myself, just as something that I would enjoy making and something that I would enjoy listening to. And, you know, I figured if even one person, you know, enjoyed listening to them, then I did a good job. And then what do you know? You know, I started this thing as like a silly hobby. Something that I would, you know, just kind of let run its course. And now we're multiple years in and not really seeming like we're stopping. I mean, we've survived depression, busy scheduling, just complete lack of planning, and multiple other things, and I'm still going. I don't even know if I've missed like a week of audio. I know there was one time I missed a day because it just didn't upload. For whatever reason, the browser I was using just wasn't uploading properly. So that was great. But whatever. That to say, thank you all again. I'm amazed and really honored. Thank you guys so much for being here and for taking interest in what I do. That being said, I do want to celebrate with you guys. I want to do something special for this momentous occasion. But I'm not sure what, and that is going to be the main draw of this audio, I guess. I'm going to be talking about some stuff we could do. And depending on what you guys kind of say in the comments, I figure I will go from there. So if you guys have any ideas, like right off the bat, like before I get to listing my ideas, if you guys have any, please feel free to leave a comment, like now. Especially because this audio is also made to be, you know, able to fall asleep to. So if you have anything that you want to mention before you go to bed, feel free to do it now. And either come back, edit your comment, reply to it, make a new one, whatever you want to do. And that way I will see it. But yeah, so, with that out of the way, thank you so much for leaving that comment if you did. And if you didn't, that's okay. I don't mind at all. I'm not mad. I have on this blanket hoodie thing. It's pretty comfy. It's a little bit too hot for it, but it's nice. It sounds nice. So, we're gonna keep it on and hope that I don't overheat. I'm already sweaty. I'm so sweaty. And I don't have deodorant on either because I don't put deodorant on at night. I don't know. It's. I feel like every time I wake up after putting on deodorant, like I just feel kind of gross. And then I'm stinky anyways because I wore off in the night or something. And then I have to like put more on or just whatever. I'd rather just be a little bit stinky tonight. So anyways, for those of you who are interested, I guess, now you know. I'm not sure if that was TMI or just enough information. So, I have a few ideas for celebratory audios that we could do. So I figured I'd just run through them. So the first idea I had obviously was the in-character Q&A that I was going to do in Christmas, like around Christmas. I figured I'd open up the questionnaire around like October and then let it go until like mid-November, and then I would start like sorting out the, questions, and then like take like those 2 weeks or so, something like that. I'd have questions open for a month or more. That way all of you lovely people could get in your questions. And for context, this would be, unlike my bi-monthly, where most people can only ask one question, this would be a case where people could ask a bunch. But yeah, so I was thinking that I'd leave it open for a month. And I was like, well, since it's a celebration anyways, and the last time I celebrated, we did Q&A for the characters, I could just do it again. But I put up a poll in the community tab, and so far, it seems that you guys aren't terribly interested in that for now. You guys seem to want to save it, which I think is a perfectly rational thing. If you're going to get it anyways, it's really a celebration. That's like being like, oh, well, I made you this cupcake just because I'm your friend, but then I found out it was your birthday, so it's actually a birthday cupcake. It's like, no. So yeah. Other ideas I had. I could do like a multi-character audio, like where I voice multiple people, multiple of my boys. I'm not sure quite what it would be about, if it would just be like them all being like, whoa, we're like having a sleepover, and you're here, and you're like tiny, or maybe you're big, and they all get to like lay on your chest, or whatever, I don't know. The only thing with that is, like, first off, I already don't kind of know what I'd do with it. Like, if you have ideas, please feel free to tell me. But I'm not quite sure what I'd do with it, and I also realized it would probably take me a while to write the script, and then record. If I have more than 2 characters, it'll be, an individual recording session for every single character. So it could be quite the long thing to write, and record, and edit, and I just worry that it would be just a lot. And then it would be like, a 10-minute audio, barely even that. And it would just, I worry it would be lackluster for the amount of work that goes into it, But that's a possibility. The next idea I had, was kind of similar to the Q&A, where like, instead of asking questions, you guys could like suggest or like request the boys and myself to say things. Just like little, like short little, like 15-second whatevers. I used to do this quite a bit back when I had my Discord server. I would like host little things where people could put in requests of what to say. My one fear with this is that I worry, because I know that most of you, I would hope, are here just for the audios, just for the relaxation purposes, but I also know that some of you out of those people, and also some people who aren't here for just relaxation, are very attracted to the characters, which is fine. They're kind of made to be attracted to, but I do also worry in that regard that hosting kind of a open requests for the boys to say whatever would lead to a lot of either very flirtatious or very arousing kind of statements. I'm not too sure that would be overall an enjoyable thing. So That's a possibility. I'm not discarding it entirely. I just think that if we were to go with that, it might require like some general rules of like, yeah, if something is like straight up just not safe for an ASMR space, then I'm not going to read it out. But it's a possibility if that interests you. I also know that I recently had discussed the idea, I do still want to do it, of like an audio talking about kind of the like a semi-academic, just ramble about size difference and where the, what causes such an interest. I'd be happy to do that, or also possibly like expanding it out into being just like my own opinions of the various themes and interests and kinks that appear on this channel. I try to be very as safe for work about it as these things can be. But I also realize that, they are what they are. But with that in mind, I'd be happy to talk about my own takes on them, my own personal views, and especially, kind of the boundaries I set when recording, and what kind of stuff I do for audios, what I don't do, why I don't do it, or why I do it. If that's something that interests you all, I'd be happy to either, again, talk about it more in an academic sense of like, here's the reasons why I think people at large would be interested in it. Here's the things I've read about it. Here's the, possible psychological whatever. Or I'd also be happy to do it kind of more of a just personal, here's my opinions on it. Here's, what I like about it. Here's what I don't like about it. And when it comes to my audios, here's what I do and don't do with it. So that's an option. Just talking about the various themings that go on here. Size difference mostly, but others as well. 4 feet. A little bit of fear play here and there, etc., etc., etc. Transformation, whatever. And then the last idea I had that I'm not, I feel like it falls too closely to the Q&A, would just be like a kind of just a generalized lore dump to be like, here's what I have written about my world, here's what I have written about the various species on the world, blah, 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 blah. Just kind of give you guys a general rundown of the Sauce universe and the various characters in it, the very, the kind of, not necessarily talking about their personalities or like their personal lives, so much as just kind of going over the basics, like Chaudry runs a shop. This character lives in this town. This character lives in this town. These characters live nearby. These characters don't. Here's how giants work. Blah, 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 blah. I'd be happy to do something like that. My one concern is really just that I worry that it would come very much just kind of be retreading similar ground to the Q&A. Just me saying stuff rather than being asked about it. So, yeah, those are my ideas of what we could do. And then I figure, just so that we are all clear, I'd go over just a few things that I don't want to do, If you guys have ideas, that way you guys can suggest them, and also kind of know my boundaries. So, if you like any of the ideas I just mentioned, great, please do tell me. But if you're like, oh, I have an idea of my own I'd really like to share, maybe you can consider it, think it's cool, also do that. And if you look in the comments of this video and you see that someone has posted something you really like, please do absolutely give it a like, reply to it being like, yes, this. Or even expand upon it if you want. Be like, I really like your suggestion that Sauce should bake us all personalized cakes that says thank you and then our personal names. Here's what I'm thinking you could do with that. carrier pigeons or whatever, That's obviously a hyperbolic example, but anyway. The things that I'm definitely not willing to do, first off, obviously, not safe for work. You can argue, I'm sure, that the audios I create already are not safe for work. I don't think most people would want to put them on at work or in a space that their boss would be able to find out, or their teacher, or their parents, or whatever, But I also am firmly of the belief that these audios are things that you could, in theory, share. If you want someone to understand these things without risking them being thrown into the deep end. That's kind of my intent, is these are fluffy and sweet. And they do include things that some might consider weird and distasteful, but ultimately they're meant to be, relaxing indulgences, So, no NSFW, no nudity, no explicit mention of sexual content, no genitalia, that kind of thing. No mentions of the above. Yeah. I feel like that one's pretty obvious, but just figured I'd toss it out there. My stance still stands. I'm not about that life. I did also consider, and I've ultimately decided against doing any kind of video, any kind of sharing of me. I used to do it quite a bit on the old Discord channel, the old Discord server, I should say. I'm pretty sure I deleted most, if not all, of those posts, just because I felt like it kind of set a bad precedent. On for people who were there, that if you're there, you get to see me, and if you're not, you're a loser who doesn't. But even if I did that on my channel, I feel like it would set a bad precedent that would be something that I would do somewhat commonly, or that I could be persuaded to do. I would want to do it as a celebration, and then probably never again, because there's a reason that I leave my voice as my voice, and not as a connection to my being. And that is, I don't think you need to have my being, my physical self, to appreciate my voice. And plus, that way, you can imagine me as whoever you want, whoever makes you feel safe. If you really want to feel safe, if you really feel safe doing it, if you feel most comfortable with it, almost all of my audios are M for A, but you could imagine me as non-binary, trans femme, if you really want to. I know some of my characters are non-binary, and I hope in the future I can do a trans femme character justice, or even just a femme character, cis femme. Is that how you say it? I don't know, I'm sorry. I don't know what, just the, not trans version. I guess cis femme is how you'd say it, or cis mask. Point being, I want to kind of keep myself anonymous for the sake of the audios, so you're not thinking about me as, oh, he's Gerald, my next door neighbor. He's Sauce. He's not Danny, who works at the bodega down the street. He's Sauce, this mysterious dude. So yeah, I ultimately, video is a no, because I just feel like it would ruin part of the fun, and it would set a bad precedent for continuing to ruin that part of the fun. And the last thing that I thought of, I briefly, very briefly considered it before ultimately deciding against it. I wouldn't want to do a live anything. because unfortunately, number one, loud noises happen and I cannot control them. Number two, I live with people and I cannot control them. Number three, my sewage system, the pipes in my walls, I don't know if the plumbing is very loud and I can't control it. And number four, I have a very swiftly changing personality. I won't say I have any particular personality disorders because I don't know. But a friend of mine did say I have BPD, so that's interesting. But ultimately, I think I wouldn't do well live because I worry that either someone would say something that upset me enough that I would not be able to recover from it. Not that I think you guys would do that intentionally. I just worry that someone might say something, be like, you remind me of Danny at the bodega, and I'd be like, I hate bodegas. Fuck Danny. And then you guys would be like, well, shit. Or I worry that I'd get too excited about something and completely break the ASMR. So I'd be like, I went to the bodega earlier. I'm using this as a recurring example because it's easier than coming up with something new every time. I'll do it. I'll do something new for you guys. You deserve it. I went to the community garden and I got some fresh tomatoes, and I'd be like, I love fresh tomatoes. Yes. And you guys would be like, well, there goes my eardrums. So yeah, in short, the things I definitely don't want to do would be video of myself. I guess in theory I could do video of something else, but I don't even know what I'd do in that case. I feel like it'd just be secondary at that point. But yeah, I wouldn't want to do video. Or visuals, I should clarify. I wouldn't want to do anything NSFW, obviously. And I wouldn't want to do a live stream or a live whatever. So if you guys have any ideas that don't include those three things, I would love to hear them. And honestly, even if you have something that includes those things, you're still welcome to share it. Because if nothing else, someone else might come along, and say, ooh, this is a great jumping off point of my idea. Or I might look at it and go, I can see a way to incorporate this without the possibility of those three things, or whatever, Point being, I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts. If you're still awake, please feel free to tell me. If you are teetering on the edge of sleep, just go to bed. It's okay. You can wait until tomorrow. You deserve the rest. I really care about your good sleep habits. So if you're taking a nap, and you should be taking a nap, if it's in the middle of the day and you shouldn't be sleeping, but you want to anyways, maybe come back and write that comment just to keep yourself from falling asleep. But if you're, in a good spot and you're taking a healthy sleep, go for it. I'll wait. But yeah, I am curious what your guys' thoughts are. If you like any of the ideas I shared about, ramble or talk presentation about the themes on the channel. If you want to do the, audio suggestions, or the, multi-character audio thing, or a little lore dump about the world, whatever. If you like those ideas, awesome. Do let me know. And if you have your own ideas, also let me know. Or if you want to expand upon the ideas that I've given, also let me know. So yeah, thank you again so much, guys, for this amazing event. I'm astounded. This is really sweet. Thank you all. I appreciate it very much, and I will talk to you guys later. I'm very tired. so I shouldn't keep talking, or else I'll just start rambling, and we know how that goes. Talk to you all later. Take care, everyone.